Kimberly, and you're watching Simply Living in a Small Town. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. For me, I had a good holiday. I'm just glad that it's over personally because of the stress um, involved with it. But I had a lot of projects that I was trying to finish the week right before Christmas. And so the last 2 weeks for me have just been very stressful. I was working on completing those projects, and which I got the majority of them done. I actually was running around the day before Christmas Eve, um, yeah, it was the day before Christmas Eve. I was actually still running around trying to pick some things up at the store and make sure we were ready for, the stores to be closed on New Year's Day as far as food and things like that. And it's just so much, so much was going on. And I did get the hats completed that I was making for gifts for Christmas. So I got all those done except for one, and I had this list in my mind of what I needed to finish like the week before, and I was like so tediously crocheting that I was just kind of like, it was getting to the point where it was just feeling grueling basically. But I realized, I still had this one hat to finish, and I was literally almost done with it. And I just totally forgot it. We were out celebrating Christmas, and then all of a sudden I realized, oh, that I didn't get, that I didn't get one of them finished for somebody that I intended to finish, and that was like, oh, oops. So I'm gonna finish that for her. That was for my niece, and I feel really bad about it because it was all done minus stitching the top of the hat closed. So I felt bad about that, and I still haven't finished it because it has just been cleaning up after Christmas. And my daughter was here all week, and now this week she's at her dad's. So that was another reason, like, that, she was glued to my hip, and plus I was doing more cooking, and it just was a lot. And there was, it was after Christmas, so there's stuff everywhere, and it was just, and that really, I have OCD, and I just can't, like, I've learned to control it to like a certain point, but like, I was chomping at the bit to clean up certain things and stuff, and it was like really giving me anxiety. So it was a little bit, aggravating till I got to today, because also my husband was off work all last week too, because where he worked, the whole plant shuts down. So he went back to work finally today, and I mean, that was just really like a sigh of relief, because it's like, oh, finally I can get in here and now do some stuff. I mean, I'm telling you, I just, to a point, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't stand this. I need to clean it up. I need to sweep the carpets, and I need to like reorganize this stuff, and just, oh my gosh. So yeah, it's been a lot, and I'm just honestly glad it's over. And I mean, we had a great Christmas, honestly, but like all week too, we were going, like, we went to my parents, we went to his parents, basically, we went, so, and then we had Christmas at home here with my son, also this 22, and then also we had him come back over the other night, and he got to open some more stuff that actually came from my mother-in-law, so and get some more goodies and whatnot from her. And so it's just been like, I'm telling you, like, we were like celebrating and partying all week. I mean, my daughter and I were anyway. Like, my daughter's high energy anyway. She just turned 11 right before Thanksgiving, and she keeps me going for sure. If I don't have the, like, I feel like I don't like want to do something, she'll get me to feel like, oh, sure, like, sure, we'll do that. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, she's very high energy and sometimes is a good motivator for me, when I'm kind of like slowing down and don't feel like I want to, but she gets me excited about things at times. So that's great on that part. And we even celebrated, New Year's Eve. Um, we just didn't go anywhere or anything. We usually don't. And we had hot chocolate and cake. And I mean, that's like stuff she loves. So we just, her and I just kind of did our thing and had fun. And, she loved it. So that's what counts, like those are the things that are really special and important. So I'm super glad that, you know, though at this point though that we're moving on and we're into the new year. Hey, it's 2024. Like, we get to start over again. So, yeah, it's wonderful. Um, I don't typically, so as far as like New Year's resolutions, like I don't really do New Year's resolutions. What I actually do is try to set realistic goals for myself um, to achieve over the course of the next year. So that's what I do. I don't do New Year's resolution. Um, but definitely in this next year, um, I want to do like, more. I want to be able to like, first of all, so if you have seen um, the video previous to this, the things that my makes for 2023, oh my goodness, putting that together, that was like, I should have worked on it. Like, it was something I just worked on pretty quickly, and even at that, it still took a lot of time because I literally sifted through the last year's pictures on my phone and stuff. So that's that was a bit much. I did that like earlier in the day, went through an entire year and organized that, and then before I put the video together. So I felt like, oh my gosh, when I watched the video, because there were so many things that like I didn't even get in there at all. Like there, so one of the things I need to do better this year is I realized like things I had made like earlier in the year, like earlier, way earlier, the first portion of the year. I was terrible. I'm just gonna say about pictures. I I just, and this is funny because it's something I'm constantly like reminding myself about is pictures. And I'll tell you why in just a second, but I'm constantly reminding myself, take gobs and gobs of pictures, always, every day, whenever. And so I just can't believe that like there were all these things that I literally made. I never took a picture of. I never took a picture of, and I'm so sorry. Like I have totes of stuff downstairs, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's all these things that I never took pictures of. So there was that. I mean, because honestly, it's very good to put something like that together, just for your own like review to see what you actually have done in the last year in that way. And to me, I mean, I was utterly surprised. I was like really utterly surprised because when I went through the photographs, and obviously I realized how many other things I'm like, well, this isn't in there, and I know I made this or that or what, and that's not in there. But still, nonetheless, like, um, it's just interesting that uh, to see, like, to literally see, oh wow, that's I really excuse me, sorry. I did not realize that I had done that much. I mean, it was really a great feeling, even to realize that there's how many things there's not photographs of, in other words, even before that. But it's a great feeling to actually like through that and see that, because I have never ever made that many, crocheted that many items in a year, ever, like ever. So my goal is with that is to do even more this year. I have tons and tons and like I have tons of stuff already picked out, that some of which I like, well, yeah, most of which I'm going to say is stuff that I already had picked out before we rolled over into this new year. So there's that. And then I've seen and whatnot some things even in the last like 2 days. I'm like, oh, that would be cool. So I need to seriously, I've told myself, I literally got to do this. I've got to sit down and start making, you know, take notebook, put down what I want to do, also my ideas and things, and so on like that. I've got to do that like every day, and I need to have that notebook in my whip bag, so they're, like in my main whip bag, so that I know where it's at. Because what happened was I did actually have a crochet journal, okay, so that I started at the beginning of last year. And I'm going to be real honest, I looked for it months ago and even more recently, and I just don't even have a clue where the heck it went. So yeah, I'm going to start a new one. I've got a new notebook. So it's just start again. It's a new year. That's fine. So we'll just start where I'm at. So there's that. I'm going to touch on the photographs, go back to that for a minute. So the reason why I'm saying to take tons and tons and tons of photographs. So first of all, your kid, like if you have children, you know, like your kids grow up so fast. My son just turned 22, and I saw a picture of him the other day. I think he was like 8 or something. I can't believe that he's 22 now, and that just blows my mind. I can't believe it. So there's that. But not only that, from somebody that, like, my house burnt down. And I'm just going to tell you that the biggest thing that, we all, like, wish we still had is the photographs. All the photographs, that we had, that we can't replace. And I actually did, I did dig, sorry about that. I did dig some of them out of the rubble or ashes or whatnot, but it wasn't very many. And I'm going to tell you that I'm very grateful for having Google Photos, because I have several years of photographs on that. So I was very fortunate with at least that part, that I didn't lose everything, previous to that day. So I'm just going to tell you that those are something that, are really special and important, especially, pictures of your family and that. And that's why I say always just take pictures every day, whatever. Even something that you may think looks dumb, 10 years later or 5 years later, you would look at the same picture a lot differently. So that's just my spiel on that. So that's why I was talking about that. So what I actually have, what I actually have here is I have a few FOs here for this video. And so I got the two of the granny square blankets that I had shown before, but they were not finished. And so here's the one I made for my husband. I think it's taller than me, maybe. Well, just about just about taller than me. It's a decent size. So this is just an Afghan, you know, for him to, because he's always in the winter. He's always got a blanket around him. Just he's always been like that. So it's the this was the I did not even bring that up here. It's the colorway is Nightberry, and it's a Karen cake. And it's got blues and grays in it. Granny square blanket. And fold that up. Okay. So that turned out really nicely. I am happy with that. He's happy with it. I just got to a point, I'm like, that's big enough. So basically, because I had ran out of yarn, and it was one of those things where I was literally at the very end of the row coming back to where I would have started the next row. And I thought, I am not ripping out that entire row. I just couldn't do it. So I bought another cake. And then I only ended up putting literally, I don't know. I finished that row, and I think I put another 3 or 4 rows or something like that on it. And I forgot. That's why I had that cake in there. I forgot to bring it upstairs, but I had a lot of it left. Well, I mean, I say that. I probably had a third of it left, actually. I used quite a bit of it. So it might have been more than 3 or 4 rows. Don't quote me on that because I can't remember. I worked on it several days just to, but I'm telling you, I have not, well, I've done very little crochet in the last week. So it's just been, yeah, because this has been way, way, way too hectic. So anyway, the next thing is this other granny square blanket that I made for my daughter that I showed before. And I've already given this to her, essentially, for Christmas. And it's a pretty good size. I honestly, I never did go ahead and measure it. So, and yes, I still actually have the tails to weave in, but it's fine. I had actually forgot about it when I gave it to her, and it wasn't any big deal. So, but you can tell this one is significantly bigger than the Nightberry colorway one. So I love this though. I love this colorway. I think it's so beautiful. Now, honestly, the one in the Nightberry, I think that turned out really nice. I really like the blanket as far as the colorway. My thing is I would just say when I look at that, it's just the colors, like, to me, it feels moody. I don't know. It's because the dark, well, between the gray and the dark blue and whatnot. So it's just, it feels blue. It's like, makes me feel blue. So that's just what I'm going to say about that. But my husband picked that out. So, you know, it was for him. I mean, it really wasn't originally for him, but he did pick out that colorway. And several times my daughter has asked him what his favorite color is, and he said, I don't have a favorite color. He just keeps telling her that. So I told him the week before last, I said, well, apparently you like blue. And he laughed and he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, most of the yarns that you picked out when we went shopping, I noticed were blue. And he started laughing. He didn't realize that I caught on to that. I was like, yeah, that's why I made that blanket for him specifically. So the colors. So anyway, there's those two things that I finished. And then I just have these little wreaths that I was doing, and I showed last time. I know you can't hardly see that, I don't think. And I put a ribbon on it. I did a bunch of them like this. Now, I also have, let's see if I can find it. Maybe not. Oh, there it is. I also have this one that I put this little ribbon on, which you can't see because the ribbon, I feel like this is too big. So I had trouble when I went to Walmart. The day that I went, first of all, I didn't even know I was going to get to go that day. So I went with a friend of mine, and then he's one of these people that's like, he's always in a hurry. So when you go to Walmart or whatever store with him, like, he wants to be in a hurry. So he told me, though, because I was still trying to finish up my Christmas shopping. He told me, he said, take your time. I'll just, when I'm done looking around, I'll just go sit on the bench out, up front. Okay, fine. Because that's usually what he does. So I'm telling you, because I was with him, riding with him, like, I felt bad. So I was like trying to rush around the store. And then I did have a list, but then I also had, like, it was in my phone. But then I also had a mental list. And I mean, so needless to say, I didn't remember everything. But I did look, I did look for, I did look for something for these wreaths. And this is what I found, was the little red and white. And even at that, I was like, I don't know about that. So I only did one like that because I really didn't like it. So then I ended up buying uptown, up here at the dollar store. I ended up buying this little ribbon, the little gold ribbon, which oh, why it looks like that. It's looking crooked. I bought, oh my word, this, here's a different one. So I bought the gold ribbon up here at the dollar store, and I thought, well, I'm just going to put that on it. Heck with it. And then, I just kind of beat myself up because I'm thinking, well, if I'd have gone and looked over by the yarn where the ribbon is, I would have found really cool ribbon that I would have liked probably better and whatnot. But, I didn't even go over there. So that was like the one time that I did not go to the yarn aisle or that area, because normally when I go to Walmart, I have to go to the yarn department. So it's just the thing, and I usually buy one skein of yarn, at least one, okay? Or two or three, but usually at least one. Not always, but most of the time. So I was like kicking myself, like, but you know what, it's fine, like, they're fine, it looks good, it's done, it's finished. And then, but I also got I also have a little bag of sequins, and they're just like sequins that you can sew on and stuff, but you can also glue these on. So that was kind of my thing too, is I was gonna do that. So that's the end, that's the end of that, basically. The wreaths. But yeah, did I get done, like what I had like planned to do overall? Of course not. Like, I still like had too much on my plate that I wanted to do as far as crochet that I didn't get done. However, it's okay. It's okay, because mostly mostly what I wanted to get done was just like it was something for me, and I just didn't have the time. Also, kind of after the fact, I wish I'd made a couple other blankets for a couple other people, but it's fine. Like, I knew I was not going to have the time, and that's why, like, I had started these blankets, especially the one for my daughter. I started months ago. I mean, like literally, I don't know, August or September or something. I would just work on it here and there, basically. I mean, I wasn't really sitting devoting hours to it for the most part. It'd be something I would work on in the evening to do off and on. Because I like to crochet in the evening before I go to bed. I also like to crochet in the morning right after I get up and have my coffee first. I have to have my coffee first. And then I like to sit down and crochet. So, did I get everything accomplished that I really want to? Not entirely, but it's okay. My niece's hat that I didn't finish, I'm just going to finish that and still give it to her. She'll still love it. So, that's no problem. So, as far as other goals this year, I want to work on more videos. That's one thing for sure. My daughter and I actually came up with, well, yeah, kind of between us, came up with a better solution on like me trying to use my office, because even once my office is all organized or and whatnot, like how I want it, it's still, that room is extremely small. Like, it's very tiny. Plus, it's downstairs, and downstairs is extremely loud because of the traffic, unfortunately, right out front. So that's kind of an issue too, because I don't want there to be a lot of loud traffic in the videos. So we kind of came up with an idea together. Currently the space that I'm in is actually my daughter's bedroom. So we have decided that I can, like, basically do my videos and stuff in her bedroom area. And then I'll be able to just like leave some of my stuff or store some of my stuff in her closet and whatnot too, and things like that. So it's no big deal. Like, so this will get a little bit, well, quite a bit better because of the situation. So, well, and she also has a YouTube. Actually, she has 2 YouTube channels. My daughter does. So she also does videos. So anyway, she really has a cool looking room. I mean, personally, if you haven't noticed, the colors behind me are pretty bold, and that's because she chose them. When we went to paint her room, I let her pick the colors. So we got to write like a really dark pink, and then a really dark blue. That's almost like a dark ocean blue kind of a color, or turquoise kind of color. So, those are the colors that she chose. I mean, it is what, so, like, that's what she wanted. It's just pink. So, anyway, this, I think, is a lot better solution for us to just, converge and work on that together. Kind of a thing where she, I can use her room and stuff, and so that this will be a much better situation that way. Because that is a goal that I want to do. I want to do a lot more videos. So there's that. And I really truly apologize that, man, the last week I wanted to make videos, and I had several different things I was wanting to make videos of, and it was just really too much. Like, I just felt like I was so stressed, and so much was like going on, days were just flying by, and I'm just like, I can't right now. So I'm truly sorry about that, but it was kind of, a break. A break. So, and so yeah, it's time to, like, I feel fired up and ready to go, and here's 2024, right? So that's part of my goals. And then other goals is I need to work on my eating. I need to work better on managing my health, and that's with eating and also with medication and things like that, and um, exercise. That's what I was trying to say. I'm sorry. So I really need to focus more on doing better by myself, is what I'm trying to say. I've been trying to get working in this direction. I would start like doing better on the eating, and then not, and then not, because I actually have trouble eating, and so I don't like normally eat specifically at normal hours like other people would, because most of the time I don't feel hungry. So there are times, well, yeah, like daily. There are times daily where I have to just, I go, oh my gosh, it's whatever time. I've got, like I force myself to eat, even though I don't feel hungry. So there's that, but also then I'm very disciplined in like what I eat, because I want to eat healthy. And no, I'm not the healthy. I'm not sorry. I'm not the healthiest. I'm not going to say that. But like, I hardly ever eat a French fry, saturated fat, excuse me. I don't like, I hardly ever eat a cheeseburger anymore. I'm going to be honest, they mostly make me sick most of the time when I eat them. So I don't do that very often. Um, I mean, I try to always make sure every day I eat vegetable, fruit, meat, dairy, and dairy is really important, but the food in general is important, and so is the meat and everything, because I have low iron. Um, I have an iron deficiency, and I have a vitamin D deficiency, so it's just really imperative for me to make sure that I'm eating what I need to eat on a daily basis, because it makes me feel a whole lot better when I eat. I can tell, when I eat and stuff, it actually helps my pain to some degree. So, but anyway, eating healthy is important regardless. So, there's that. And I want to, I have a lot of stuff, other projects like wood projects that I want to do this year. Also, ones that I knew I couldn't wrap up the end of last year. So, I have some things like right there, like on the cusp. In other words, like of being completely done to put up for sale. And I told myself it's fine. Once we got to December, I knew that was going to be like a slippery slope, literally, because like Christmas, and you're just running here, running there, or whatnot, and it's just a lot. It's a lot. So I told myself it's fine. I told my husband I'm gonna stop on any of that. I'm not even gonna touch any of that until we get into the new year, and then I'll go back and finish these things and go ahead and get them up for sale. So that's my plan on that. And then of course, even as importantly as our housing situation, and so we're still majorly remodeling. And matter of fact, yeah, Thanksgiving Day we got a bunch of 2x4s and plywood and things. So that was something else. We were getting ready to build a wall in the upstairs, and basically, my husband was wanting to go, like, do it right now, and I said no. That was the other thing I had told him, is we're not doing any projects. Okay, we're not building a wall right now. Christmas is coming up. We're not doing that. Like, we're not. I'm just not getting, because I didn't want to stress myself, and plus the physicality of everything. I can't handle it. I've got to slow my physicality down, and what I mean is like my physical labor that I'm doing. I just can't. Like, I just can't. When I really push myself of a day, then it will take me 2 to 3 or 4 days to come back from that. because it will make me feel like, you know, I will be in so much pain that yeah, I'll pay for it for the next 2 to 4 days. So no, I just told him, I says, it's fine. Like, let's get through Christmas and then we'll, you know, we'll commence this and go back to it. So it's fine. So we just have a lot going on, a lot to do. And I mean, and I do, obviously, as well. So, and of course, I'm still working towards putting a store in the front room of the building that we're in. But, you know, it's just going to take time. So we're doing these things ourselves for the most part. Not entirely, but mostly. And it's a lot. It's a lot when you're living in a place that is like in a state of upheaval constantly. And you're just, because you're living in it, and you have to constantly move stuff around in it to like redo rooms and stuff. So that's a real pain. And I mean, obviously it's a lot easier when you don't live in it, and you can just go in and do the work. But this is work that, like, it can destroy a marriage, you know. It can cause divorce. It's hard. It's really hard. So, I mean, I've lived through it before with the previous house, that I had. So, it just is a lot. So, you know, this time around, and especially where I'm at with my health, 20 years ago when I was redoing my house that I had, yeah, I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning hanging crown molding, and that was okay at that time. Like, I mean, but I can't now. I can't work like that. I can't work all day and half the night. Like, it's just, you know, my health isn't in that. I have to covet what I have left, is what I'm saying. My life is precious. All life is precious. All life, okay? And I'm saying that because, so, at the end of 2020, when my house burnt down, I was actually in bed sleeping through that. And, you know, I literally, barely escaped that, and didn't even realize till later, you know, that was the case. And till I saw some pictures that the neighbor had taken across the street, and it showed, I mean, my bedroom was on fire, or our bedroom, and my daughter's bedroom was on fire, which she wasn't there. Nobody was in the house but me. And yeah, it was very shocking to see those pictures, because it hit me that my life could have ended like so quickly, and I would have never realized it. And actually, the only reason I woke up when I did was because my two of my cats woke me up that morning to a smoke-filled bedroom. So I'm very thankful for the cats too. But like I said, all life is precious. So I just want everyone to know that you know, nothing is promised to us. Like, no day is promised to us to be, you know, we never know. We never know. So, you know, I hope that people understand that that's really how quickly it can end. So, on that note, that's going to be the conclusion of today's video. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will like, subscribe, and or share the video. But I appreciate all of you. Whoever's watching, I appreciate you so much. And just know that I am grateful and appreciative of that. So thank you so much, and see you till next time. Bye.